welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 3, episode 114. Alright, so, here we are. Let's finish this. It is now time for us to get on with the 10th and final race of the Formula GT Championship, which is the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's finish this. And the reason why I say it's the Monaco Grand Prix is effectively because, as you can see there, it is virtually the identical length to what the Monaco Grand Prix is in real life. Literally 78 laps of just going around Monaco. And I'm also pretty sure that overall, this is notably the... yeah, that should do it. This is, quite notably, the longest race in the championship by some margin. And I'm pretty sure it'll probably take me somewhere under 2 hours to get this done. But let's do it anyway. Alright, here we go. It is now time for the race that shall end the final championship in this game. Even though technically I do still have one race left to sweep up, and everyone is getting sketchy at the moment. I did not think that was coming. Someone just basically trying to dance down the inside. And at the moment, of course, I appear to be struggling on this first lap. Okay. I might be able to get down on it this time. If I can manage to survive the first 2 laps without any major incidents. Because at the moment I'm handling quite poorly, and I'm going to suspect the reason for that is because I'm on cold tyres. But again, in saying that, I do manage to take the lead right before the end of the first lap. As I went through La Rascasse and already getting it wrong at Saint-Devote. But anyways, as we head up the hill now, into the Hotel de Paris, and then heading now, of course, through Casino Square and down through Mirabeau. I did, of course, put some more downforce on this thing going into this race because I did have a feeling handling would be a problem around this circuit. And I would say, to this point, this is probably where the domination will start. Because I'm pretty sure the AI don't seem to get around Monaco very well. I'm also pretty sure that since this is a track that is more favourable to the player, I am fairly certain that I will manage to win this race pretty much full stop. I will probably be livid if I do not win this race. Under pretty much the simplest of circumstances, I've decided I'm just going to stick with what I have and just hope to see that I can win it. Although, I'm not really handling very well at the moment because I'm still not getting myself into the rhythm of where the track goes at the present time, but at least I can say at the moment I am trying. Also, meanwhile, I am now pulling away from the rest of the field. And I'm not even pushing. Guess those are the beneficiaries you have of being that much more superior around the street course than the AI by pure comparison. Oh, yeah, okay. I got completely crossed out there. Right before La Massonnet, which I think is the corner right before La Rascasse. And I'm still having trouble trying to rubber myself into the track surface. I'm still struggling at the moment. And it probably also doesn't help on how the sun is virtually right outside my house, and that's probably what's distracting me. Although then again, I'm just using that as an excuse, more or less. Meanwhile, I can now safely say that at the moment, in spite of me crashing a lot, which is basically what I am doing, because I keep touching the walls in pretty much every fucking corner I enter. Because of the lackluster competence regarding the AI around this circuit, that is ultimately what is managing to keep me ahead. Although I've not actually managed to put up a representative lap time yet. And it does make me wonder if I will manage to do that heading into the closing stages of the first stint. And even though I know I shouldn't be pushing hard this early, the truth is, I am very much a pessimist over what I think is going to happen in this race, because I'm predicting that I'm still going to be crashing a lot, which is basically what I have been doing in the early stages. And you will probably be yet to see a lot more of that, because I do not know how to set a clean lap around Monaco. I mean, it's not a major concern at the moment because, well, at the moment I'm basically separating myself from the rest of the field, and for once I do manage to set a representable lap time of a 1:15.5. So probably the first representable lap of the day, and hopefully there will be a lot more to follow it. Even though there probably won't be a lot, because, well, you know, I will still be crashing a lot. Well, at least I can say that with the downforce I added on the front wing, I can safely say that with the downforce I've added on the front wing, I've actually managed to get myself through the corners, and I've also managed to get a limited amount of wheel spin. Although that's probably because, well, whenever I'm heading through the corners in second gear, I'm basically feathering. I'm basically, you know, feathering the throttle, essentially. Although, then again, of course, because this is still a rear steer car, because this car is rear wheel drive, but since this car is still very much a rear steer, that's probably the main reason why I'm not managing to get to grips with the track surface. Also, I would imagine it's only going to be a matter of just a few more laps before I officially come in to make pit stop number 1. Because I can tell when I'm starting to lose the handle. Because I can tell when I am starting to lose the handle on this thing. And also, to those of you who are asking for what exactly my targeted lap is, well, I'm going to be gunning for probably 9-10 laps maybe. Although we'll probably just have to wait and see how long these rear tyres will manage to cooperate with my driving style. Because I can tell when the handling on this thing is starting to go away. Because I just virtually darted myself into the wall to have proof of that. Also, furthermore, I am pretty much a pit stop clear of the 2 leaders. So it's the Stealth 001 that leads the green and yellow 001 up to this point. And as for the rest of the field, I don't know where the fuck they're running. But all I really know is at the moment is that it's the Stealth 001 that runs ahead of the green and yellow 001. That's all I really know. Meanwhile, my blue and cyan, I think this colour is. Well, don't know if it's cyan or not, but anyways. My blue 001 is still continuing to lead the pack. And well, just because I still have some reasonable rubber left on the front tyres, I might actually, you know, be ballsy and go for another lap, even though my rear tyres are close to being shot up to this point. And also furthermore, the leaders are catching me, but again, I don't think it'll matter too much because I'm more or less... excuse me. Because I'm more or less a lap ahead of the rest of the field. Now, do I dare, or do I daren't? Because my rear tyres are virtually shot. I daren't. I'm coming in. What a surprise. I literally hit the rev limiter by the time my car decides to shift down to first gear or whatever. Hopefully that will be the only time that happens. Anyways, I'm now out of the pits once again. Now, I could have been ballsy and gone for another lap, but ultimately, I think judging by the state of what my rear tyres were in, it probably wasn't worth it to go for that gamble. Although, oddly enough, of course, the past couple of races have actually been pretty interesting since test course, because I've only just managed to win each of these races, more or less, as I had an itch on my face. Still, even with the added downforce on the front, this car, as far as I can tell, it still wants to dart around a lot. And, oddly enough, it is not liking what I'm trying to do to it at the moment. Now, I'm pretty sure the AI will probably put in this lap. And I'm going to assume the main reason for that was probably because they did, of course, decide to be ballsy and go for the extra lap. Ugh. Why can I not drive around this circuit? Am I doing something wrong, or am I just lacking concentration at the moment? It's either one or the two. Well, it's either one or the other, I should have said. Whatever. Anyways, I now have a 23.6 second margin to the leaders. Although, oddly enough, of course, ironically for many years in fact, the Monaco Grand Prix used to be 100 laps long. For probably many years until the fatal crash of Lorenzo Bandini in 1967, was it? Yeah, 67, when he had officially, when that very accident, of course, had notably banned hay bales from being put on Grand Prix tracks, and effectively from that race onwards they replaced them with Arco barriers. Although, oddly enough, of course, the highest number of DNFs was also recorded here at Monaco in 1996, as of which, overall, of course, from the 22 starters that made the field, there was literally only 3 finishers. Virtually the podium finishers of that race were the only ones that actually saw the checkered flag. Although technically overall, of course, it's not the least number of classified finishers because, well, that was solidified in 1966. Where, ironically enough, from the 20 starters who made the field here at Monaco, there was only 4 finishers. And the winner on that day, Jackie Stewart. Quite notably his second of an eventual 27 career victories. Cemented very much into the forefront of how remarkable Jackie Stewart's career was about to be. Although, the best years of Jackie Stewart's career would not officially emerge until after his near-fatal crash at Spa in that same year, 1966. Where notably overall, of course, it was the old triangle circuit of the Spa-Francorchamps that had ultimately given Jackie Stewart life-threatening injuries. It was a miracle to think that someone such as Jackie Stewart was able to survive a crash as big as that one was at the time. I mean, you have to remember, in those days, of course, motorsports was a lot more audacious back then than it used to be now. You basically had to have the will to die in order to effectively drive one of those race cars. As like, you effectively had to see yourself living on the very edge just to drive one of those things. You virtually had to be a gladiator, just, you know, without the horses, essentially. I've been thinking this race overall, I'm probably going to be making about 8 pit stops, approximately. I have no idea how I did not hit the wall. I was so close to clipping that outside armco around the back. Yeah, and by the way, when I say to back, it's spelled T-A-B-A-C. Weirdly. By what the name of the corner is. Although mysteriously, of course. Even though my oil light has basically been on for nearly 1,000 kilometers now, which I think is about probably 617 miles. Although that probably could just be me. But I think that's 1,000 kilometers now. Ultimately, I'm honestly surprised in how this thing is still running. Even though it pretty much goes all the way back to the third race when that oil light turned red. I think it was like during the middle of Gran Valley that's when it happened. But yeah, overall, I've basically just been dominant in this championship from virtually start to finish. Although, overall of course, I still have a total of about 63 laps to go. I should have kept the car in fourth gear as I went through the corner, probably. Although, I decided not to. Anyways. I am trying to see if I can set at least another reasonable lap time on this stint, although that probably doesn't look like it's going to happen because, well, my rear tyres up to this point are pretty much fucked. Fortunately for me at least, I do have enough space on my... Fortunately for me at least, I do have enough space on my... USB to do the final couple of segments because, well, I do of course have to show off machine test since I basically did that in both Gran Turismo 1 and 2, and I'm also pretty sure that I'll have to show it off in this game as well because that's just what I choose to do. And even though I am pitting a lap earlier compared to the rest of the field, I'm pretty sure the stealth... Sorry. I'm pretty sure the V10 pack will probably be switching up their strategy numerous times during this race. I do not think they're going to pit in only 7 times. Which is probably what the projectional estimation is in terms of timed laps. I'm pretty sure they will probably not be going 10 laps on each stint. Although it will surprise me if they are, because, well, as you can already see up to this point, my rear tyres are fucked. And I probably have no doubt in saying that even though I am pulling off the undercut compared to the AI, as I would have anticipated here at Monaco, I'm already into the stages of domination, as I would have anticipated. Oh, fuck. Yep. Something told me that was going to happen. I've really got no choice up to this point. My rear tyres are clearly fucked. Well, tyre wear isn't necessarily too bad around Monaco, but again, I cannot control this race car on pretty much destroyed rear tyres, because that's exactly what I think these tyres are. They're virtually destroyed. And I, of course, need to pit in before the issue worsens, which is exactly what I predict is going to happen. Alright, in the pits for number 2 of what will probably be a projected 9 pit stops before this day is out. I have no idea why an auto driver just shifts me down to 2nd gear right before I exit the pits. I really have no idea whatsoever on why exactly it does that. I'm pretty sure it did say, of course, on the GT fandom page that all of these races combined were about 1,500 kilometers, so I would think that's probably somewhere over 900 miles. Although, dependent on knowing if it's over 1,000 miles or not, that probably remains a mystery. Although the reason why I chose to do this race today is ultimately because, well, this is probably the only time I will get to actually, just work my way through this race and then just basically try and see how long it is before I meant to do that. Basically, enter Sandoval in 4th gear, and then just basically shift down as I go through the corners. I meant to do that. I very much meant to do that. Fuck. I got oversteer. Guess that's just the benefits of what I usually get from a car that is clearly rear steer. So yeah, I'm estimating this race will probably take me somewhere under 2 hours. And I was swerving down that harbour stretch. So even with additional downforce, it is still pretty hard to keep this car under control, because I'm struggling to just keep a threshold on this thing, even though I do have maximum rear downforce, because, well, that's basically what I have. I basically have maximum rear downforce, and I have near maximum front downforce as well. Just to add on to this. Let's see what this line looks like. See if I can manage to pull off it. Fuck. Let's see if I can manage to pull off a more representable lap time. Well, it appears as though the AI do look like they have the audacity. Well, it appears as though the AI do look like they have the audacity to go as long as 10 laps on each set of tyres. Although it doesn't matter really, because, well, the undercut is surprisingly more powerful around here than the overcut. At least that's the way this race is going to go. almost made contact with that inside wall, but it's fine, because I'm still alive. Because I'm still alive and I have not died yet. And that's all. Now I am upset, because I touched the inside wall of the tunnel. And I scrubbed off the speed I could have had, as a result. Although I'm not going to be complaining too much, because, well, once this race is done, I will have basically done pretty much all but one race. Well, I will have basically swept up all but one race. Which, as you would have anticipated, is of course going to be a test course. And then once I have swept up that race, I knew that was going to happen at some point. I was virtually in the vulnerability zone once I got out of that corner. Oh shit. Yep, okay, now it's all falling apart. I'm trotting my way around this circuit, but I keep falling apart. Oh yeah, I just remembered something. That is a Papa Roach reference. I think the line goes, I follow you out of the dark, I'm trotting my way but I keep falling apart. I think that's how the line goes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I did make a Papa Roach reference there. Which, by the way, is the name of an American alternative rock and nu metal band. Yeah, and when I say new, it's spelt N-U. Not N-E-W, but just N-U. Because that's what nu metal is. Although oddly enough, of course, Papa Roach do also tend to play some hard rock with some post-grunge. And furthermore, yes, I very much like post-grunge. Because I listen to Nirvana. Because they were the band that created the grunge. As I'm now heading past these luxury yachts once again, at the end of 24 laps, I'm pretty sure I've now overlapped the turbo class up to this point, and I'm pretty sure the battle for that has already been decided more or less. Although I probably won't know for sure until we get to the end of that little... before we get to probably the end of that little war, which I think is still waging on. Right, so 24 laps are now on the board. I think I'll be about a third of the distance by lap 26, if my maths is correct. I think it's about probably 26 laps. That would be the third of the distance, and then I think it's about 39 laps that will be the halfway point of this race. And now it is the green and yellow 001 that takes over second place briefly, as they've now traded positions. But again, it really doesn't matter what happens between those two, because, well, I'm pretty sure the stealth 001 has already taken second position in the championship. But of course, there is still fourth position yet to be decided. I think that's, at the moment, still very much up for grabs. Oh, and there goes the 001. Sorry, the green and yellow 001, I should say. As a result of him spinning into the wall right before Hotel de Paris. Also furthermore, my tyres are fucked again. And I have the green and yellow 001 right on my ass. As the stealth 001 tries to overlap the silver 002. Although it doesn't matter too much anyway, because, well, he still manages to overlap him anyway. And, oh my god, we just went 3 wide into to back. We were virtually 3 abreast. You cannot fucking do that here. That is impossible. You cannot run 3 wide through there. Honestly, here at Monaco with the wideness of the F1 cars at the moment, it's virtually impossible to go too wide around this. It's virtually impossible to go too abreast around this circuit for most parts. Although, then again, of course, because this is Polyphony's version of Monaco, I'm pretty sure that is not possible. Also, furthermore, yes, my tyres are fucked. That was totally the tyres, that was not me. That was not me who just wrecked the green and yellow 001. That was totally the tyres. I am the complete innocent bystander towards that jurisdiction. Okay, that might have been me. Ugh, can you just fuck off? Can you just fuck off and stop bumping me? What the fuck just happened there? Was I drifting through there, or was I just virtually forced into the armco by his AI? Fuckers. They literally pushed me into the wall, is what they did. Anyways, time for pit stop number 3. Because I know for sure these tyres are nowhere near capable of producing 10 laps. Or at least that's the way my... or at least that's, under many circumstances, the way that the fucking AI just tends to go around this circuit. I guess it's basically just the AI being the AI. I mean, I would have more or less suspected they were going to do that sooner or later. Also, furthermore, yes, this car still does tend to snap a lot on the rear. This car, even with maximum rear downforce, it is still very fucking snappy on the rear. That's basically what this car is on the rear end. Or the rear axle, I should say. It is very fucking snappy. I can basically tell that even without the rear splitter. I know for sure that's what the case is, distinctively. Again, I mean, like I said before, the Polyphony 001 is basically just the, either the F-Zero 94H or the F-Zero 94S is basically what the models of this car are in the NTSC version. And as for the 002, well, I'm more or less certain that is basically the F6 88S. Because, well, that's basically what the models are in the fucking PAL version of this game. They're basically just given different names, essentially. And that's all. And apparently, I still cannot drive this thing. Apparently my try-hard driving strategy don't mean shit to this car. This car still wants to intentionally wreck me, which is basically what it's been trying to do for more or less the entire race. And I'm not saying that to be a pessimist, I'm saying that because that's the truth. That was very much the counterintuitive approach towards what I would have done. Why do I keep forgetting there's an invisible wall inside those curbs? Fucking hell. Why can I not drive this circuit? It's virtually just an impossibility for me to properly get around this circuit. Even when I'm leaning forwards, it's almost impossible for me to tiptoe my way around this circuit. Why do I keep shifting down to second when I should be in third gear? I think that's probably what I should be doing through most of these corners. Well, I needn't to worry. I think the only thing I'm really going to do is basically just set myself a hot lap in this race the default way. And basically the only way I really know how to get around this circuit properly, which is basically just by using the walls. And there was literally no loyalty to that passing manoeuvre I attempted in any way, shape or form. Although, at the very least I can say that I am trying to make an effort. I still can't get around the circuit without the rear snapping on me. And now that no one is in my way this time, I am basically just going to go flat out. Well, almost. Well, almost no one. I know to some people this might be cheating, but the truth is... it's basically the only way I can get around this circuit properly. Sure, some people may refer to this as cheating, but the truth is, at the moment, I really don't have any major concerns behind what exactly has already been and gone. Behind everything up to this point that's, already been and gone. More or less. Anyways, 32 laps are now on the board, and I'm hopeful in saying that this will be a quick lap, maybe. excuse me. No way, I'm keeping this thing in 3rd gear. Wow, and for once I actually gave myself a smooth entry into the tunnel. For once I actually managed to get through the tunnel. And I still fuck it up anyway, because I hit the outside wall at the chicane. Doing me for having the lackluster concentration. Well, guess that's the punishment I get for having lackluster concentration. Although, at the moment, of course, I don't think I need too much concentration, as it currently stands. Although the truth is, I really don't think this car has got that many quick laps left in it. Because this car is virtually a tyre killer in some cases. Especially on the rear tyres here. Wouldn't necessarily say it's an embarrassment, I would say it's more or less you know, a prediction strategy towards how exactly I'm eventually going to win this race. Also, furthermore, I'm now 5 laps away from the halfway point, which I know for sure I'm clearly going to lead because I already have a lap's advantage on the rest of the field. As the matter may currently present itself. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why can I not get through fucking the Massenet? I think that corner's called the Mass. I think that corner is called Massenet. The one right before the Rascasse. I still do not know the names of most of these corners. I have no idea how I managed to avoid that. Especially considering I'm driving this stint on pretty much fucked tyres once again. You know, I think the AI might be running on medium slicks if they're going another lap than myself. Although I really don't see how that makes any sense, because the truth is, I'm basically a lap ahead of the rest of the field anyway. And furthermore, yes, I am still sticking to my 9-lap strategy. Furthermore, yes, I'm very much sticking to my 9-lap stints, because that appears to be the way forward. I'm not going to shorten my stints, I'm only going to go about as long as I can go. Which is basically 9 laps on each set of tyres I use. Even then, of course, if my fronts as well as my rears after this lap are going to be fucked. Basically. And that's all. But again, it doesn't matter because I am still risking it. Also, furthermore, I'm now in 4th gear. Reason why? Well, it's the only reason. It's the only way I can officially manage to successfully control this car. And also, furthermore, my voice is dying. More or less. Yep, okay. Now I can safely say my tyres are fucked. Both front and rear. They are fucked pretty badly. Right, anyways. Pit stop number 4. And it's basically 3 laps right before the halfway point. Okay. And the stealth 001 has managed to unlap himself, but again, really don't see how the hell that makes any sense, because, well, I just immediately end up overlapping him anyway. Really don't see any point on how that has any relevancy towards this race in any way, shape or form. Really don't see how this, has any relevancy to this particular race in any way, shape or form whatsoever. Especially considering I am going virtually 170 miles an hour as I head through the tunnel turn. That's more or less the speeds I'm generating as I go through the tunnel, essentially speaking. Because it is virtually impossible for a race car to reach 200 miles an hour around this circuit. Honestly, I personally think not even the Escudo could reach 200 miles an hour around this circuit. I mean, virtually no race car is capable of doing that. That I would think is impossible. Because Monaco is so tight, and furthermore, if you do try and do that, you will probably die. You will probably end up dying from this. Anyways, we are closing in on the halfway point, and I am pretty sure the halfway point is approaching us this time around. So, just gotta survive the rest of this lap, and then hopefully I will have an adequate enough approach towards competing for a new personal best, and I do now set a new personal best of a 1:13.6. So that is now virtually the best lap of this race so far. Although then again, of course, I am still using the outside wall as I head through Hotel de Paris and right before Casino Square. I mean, you're basically changing gear in a race like this presumably more than 2,500 times throughout this race, more or less. Because the truth is, I never have been a fan of Monaco. I mean, this version of Monaco is better than the real life version, but the truth is, realistically, I still don't like Monaco. I mean, it's always been a hard circuit, even with the original layout before that swimming pool section was built, and also before they extended the tunnel. Although, oddly enough, of course, I think as far as I know, Monaco has basically run with the original layout, has probably run with its current layout, or at least its current guise, since 2003, and essentially overall, this is basically the layout that they basically used from pretty much 97 to 02, essentially. Because Polyphony's version of Monaco is actually easier to drive than the real-life version of Monaco. But ultimately, at the moment, I'm still managing to keep pretty much a foothold on the championship, and furthermore, I'm actually managing to get my shit together around the circuit, briefly. Oh shit. That is a wall. Anyways, here is to hoping I do not hit that open area where the casino is located. And now heading down the hill into Lowe's Hairpin. Ironically enough, I have actually been to Monaco before. 1 year. I think it was like 2016 when I went over to Monaco. I think that's when it was. I mean, I know it was at some point in the mid-2010s when I went over to Monaco. I think it was also when I was cruising on the Mediterranean. And oddly enough, I'm very lucky to say that I've been on as many cruises as I have up to this point in the pre-COVID world. Although, then again, of course, although, technically speaking, of course, that was when my mentality wasn't in as much of a promising position as it is now. I mean, that was before I went to college. Because in my later years of high school, I was basically miserable. Before I moved over to college, and then as soon as I did, it basically just changed my life completely. And I just felt a lot more, independent than I did. And I just feel a lot more independent now than I did back then. And apparently the silver Turbo V6 is not wanting me to overlap him, but again, even if he's trying his hardest not to be conceivable, genuinely, because I have the superiority in comparison to the AI, ultimately, he must have known, of course, that I was going to probably keep my foot in the door. Okay, I'm going to have to give this one some payback. Yeah, that's what you get, dumbass. Yeah, that's payback, you dumbass. You don't intentionally wreck me. You crash me, I crash you. Although it doesn't matter because I'm now a lap ahead of you. I'm also pretty sure before this race is over, it'll be more than probably 1,500 kilometers. Might even be 1,600 before this race is done, probably. Although, again, that's just an assumption, because, well, I tend to have a lot of assumptions on my mind. Dependent on knowing if I feel obligated or unobligated to answer those sorts of questions. I now have an itch on my nose, although I cannot focus on that at the moment because all my attention is diverted to my TV. Although, oddly enough, of course, the 13.6 that I set, that is actually a reasonable lap time, more or less. I would say that probably is a reasonable lap time, more or less. Okay. I just gotta go one more lap on this set of tyres and then once I've done that lap, I can basically just focus on surviving the rest of the way. So, 43 laps are in the books, and it is going to be 44 laps this time around, as of which I'm pretty sure my tyres are wearing down quicker now than they were earlier in the race. It's like they're basically just losing themselves, more or less. Could have gone for 8 lap stints if I really wanted to, but I don't really want to get to the end of this race on badly worn tyres, so I'm not gonna attempt to risk that. So I'm basically trying to see if I can go for probably 9 lap stints. Reverse. Wow, I just did a donut. Right off the exit of Mirabeau. As I was trying to get this car spun around, I did a donut. How remarkable. Although, it really doesn't matter that much to me because, well, I still need to survive this. And as of which, I'm now 1 hour into this race. Fucking hell. Yep, I think it's fair to say these tyres ain't worth shit anymore. These tyres don't mean shit. Anyways, pit stop number 5, and I still have 3 to go. Doesn't matter because, well, the V10s are right behind me. It's only really the V6. It's only really the V6 class that I'm overlapping at the moment. And I would say at the moment we're pretty evenly split. We're virtually Noah's Ark for this championship, more or less. We're basically 3 001s and 3 002s, essentially. Down the inside of the Nouvelle Chicane, and of course, I'm now coming through to completing what will officially be the outline set of tyres. And even though I've only spun twice up to this point, I can guarantee there will be another spin before this race is done. Excuse me. Because I can basically guarantee there will be another spin. Oh, shit. Aha! I'm not pissed off this time. I'm still using the outside walls though. Why did I shift down to second? I think that's probably like 179, 180 miles an hour. I went up to the Nouvelle Chicane, I think that's what it was. Anyways. Gonna be 47 laps this time around in the books. as I now come around to completing lap number 47. And of course, I still have... Oh, god damn it. I got blocked. But anyways, I still have a total of 31 laps to go, if you include this one. Let's see if I can manage to rectify these issues. Don't hit the wall. Okay. I did not hit the wall this time. Yeah. I saved my car from making impact with the wall. At least I know I haven't been making heavy contact with the walls. To this point. Just basically trying to see if I can go for quick up to this point. In terms of me knowing if I'm going to be able to produce a new PB. Although at the moment it's not looking likely, but again, we'll just have to wait and see what I can manage to produce. I mean, I am producing 114 at the moment. Oh, fuck my ass. Why did I have to do that? I basically did a Piers courage as I went up the hill. I basically just spun as soon as I got... I basically just spun the car as soon as... I basically just got sideways and spun the car once I went up the hill. Which ironically enough is basically the same thing that the racing driver Piers Courage once did on this circuit. Here of course that tragic race in 1967, which oddly enough was also a race of attrition, because from the 20 starters that made the field, 21 starters that made the field in that race, there were only 6 finishes. And also, ironically enough, it was also the first of 8 wins to be taken by New Zealander Denny Hulme, who ironically enough, of course, still remains to ultimately be F1's first and only New Zealander to officially win a Grand Prix as well as win a World Championship. And as far as I know, of course, the only other New Zealander I can think of that has competed in Formula 1, as far as I know, is subsequently Chris Amon, who ironically enough is also considered by many as being probably the greatest racing driver to never secure victory in a Grand Prix. Finishing on the podium a remarkable 11 times, and yet, oddly enough for his era, never managing to thread the needle and eventually win the race, because he was never lucky enough to secure it, is what I'm essentially saying. Although to those of you who are asking who is the best F1 driver to never win the championship, Well, that of course would be none other than Sterling Moss. A man himself who to me will probably was, still is, and probably will remain to be the greatest Grand Prix racing driver to never win the championship. I mean, the man himself, he finished second 4 straight years in a row, and then to further solidify his position on why he is the single most greatest, is that he further solidified that with accumulating 3 third-placed positions to pretty much top the cake with the cherry. I think that's pretty much solidified that Sterling Moss will forever remain the greatest F1 driver to never win the championship. Even though he came so close in 1958, ultimately overall, he was inconsistent, and as a result of his inconsistency, he lost out on the 1958 World Championship by a single point to Mike Hawthorne. But again, Sterling was not disconsolate, because ultimately overall, since he realised in that championship, even though he did win virtually half of the races that were held that season, essentially overall, because he was inconsistent, and of course compared to his fellow English racing driver Mike Hawthorne, or British racing driver I should say, because most athletes tend to race under the British racing licence for some reason, but whatever. His fellow British racing driver Mike Hawthorne had ultimately beaten him to the championship by a single point, even though he only had 1 win that entire season. But ultimately overall, it was consistency upon Mike Hawthorne's part that had officially handed him the 1958 World Championship, even though he only won 1 race. And remarkably enough, of course, it was also coincidentally the first year that we Brits had officially had our first F1 World Champion. Well, canonically speaking, of course, because, Mike Hawthorne is the original. Even though it could have been Sterling Moss. And yes, I am driving this thing around Monaco, or basically coasting this thing around Monaco on virtually dead tyres. Because I can tell my rear tyres are once again fucked. But it's fine, because I only have to make 2 more pit stops after this one, and then by the time I've pitted in at the end of lap 72, I can basically run like hell for the final 6 laps, which is probably what I'll end up doing. Fuck. This is the lap I pit. No ands, buts, or ifs. So just got 2 more pit stops left in this race by the time this one is done, and then we can basically just go like hell for the rest of the race. I was not given enough time to put my water down. Anyways, I'd say I can relax now, so don't really think I need to take any big risks up to this point. I can more or less, you know, just relax and do whatevs. Up to this point, is what me thinks. I mean, if I can decide to go for another faster slap, then I probably will go for another faster slap. So, you know, that probably is something I would consider doing. If I feel like enough of an arsehole to just go for that faster slap, even though I already have the faster slap, probably some margin compared to the AI. At least if I'm speaking in terms of, you know, being, you know, verbose about what my plan is. Or at least, you know, sounding verbose enough with my wording. And what exactly I can manage to, you know, formulate out of this rose. I'm basically doing this for entertainment and publicity purposes. Yeah, what I just did there. Can I please have 22 more of those? No. Probably not. Sometimes I wish we could have some more licensing in the PAL version of the game, but unfortunately, Polyphony probably didn't have the rights to send us that much sufficient detailing. Although at the very least we still get the F1 cars, because, well, even though we may not necessarily get the F1 cars that the NTSC version gets, again, I really don't have any major problems with this version of the game. I mean, this version of the game is probably just about as good as the NTSC version. Even though there are some challenges with the NTSC version that are purely easier than in the PAL version, the truth is, I'd still say both games are about as good as one another. There really isn't any major differences between the two. Well, except for saying, of course, that we PAL region gamers at the time effectively got you to concept, and also the Americans did not. Which is all I can really say in terms of, you know, major differences. I am doing exactly what I thought I was going to do. Just crashing in every fucking corner I enter. Basically giving myself the reputation of coming out of a wreckfest, more or less. Which is what I think this is meant to be. I think this is meant to be a wreckfest or something. Motherfuckers. I should probably lie back in my chair, but again, I'm not going to, because I actually have to concentrate on the screen just to fucking pull myself around this circuit. I know I'm meant to relax, but the truth is, I never feel relaxed, even if I say I am. I've never relaxed. I think that too is a sort of distance as far as I know, but yeah. I think that line comes from hell above water. But again, I probably don't know for sure until I've played through Winter Storm, which probably is a game that I'll end up playing in the future. I have no idea how I avoided the wall this time. Wow, I am blocked. What a remarkable coincidence, considering that's exactly what I thought was going to happen once I overlapped the turbo stonks. Although the blocking is not done yet, because I'm certain there will probably be more of that yet to come. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Although somehow I still set a low 150 in spite of that. So, I think I'm meant to be putting in again at the end of lap 63, although it depends on knowing if these tyres feel like they can actually withstand the distance or not. Probably remains to be seen. But yeah, I'll just have to wait and see what happens. Although, in terms of there actually being, worthy Monaco Grand Prix that weren't complete snooze fests, I'm now going to overlap the entire field in this race twice. By default of myself literally being that much more consistent than the AoE. Also, my replay save is now complete. Anyways, down the inside of what appears to be the green and yellow 001, as I know, around the outside of the indigo 002, and up into what I think is now the 3 laps down territory for the turbo stonks. And meanwhile for the V10s, they are almost 2 laps down. Fuck. Yeah, but like I said, meanwhile for the V10 stonks, they are now going to be 2 laps down once I've managed to get myself around this circuit. Even though it will only be temporarily, because, well, these tyres look like they're going to be finished over the next lap. Although I probably shouldn't say that, because I think finished would be an understatement. Just had to force him wide just a little bit there, because my rear tyres were shot, but again, somehow I don't think I caused too much damage in that incident, remarkably. At least that's the way it is, given the circumstances. So, I've just 1 lap to go on this stint, and then once I'm done with the next lap I can make my penultimate pit stop of the race, because I can guarantee these tyres right now ain't worth shit. But again, I'm sticking to my strategy of synchronicity by going. But again, I'm sticking to my synchronized strategy, because I prefer to go a total of 9 laps rather than 8 laps. And furthermore, yes, I am very much being audacious for this. And it appears as though the V10 class is managing to stick to their strategy. Because apparent as it might be, they've actually managed to keep their 10 lap stints going pretty good up to this point. Even though I'm pretty sure that if they do end up getting back on the lead lap, I will quickly overlap them again, because I am pretty sure that because of how lackluster the competence of the AI is around this circuit, I'm pretty sure that I will re-overlap them for the deuce, more or less. They'll more or less be overlapped for the deuce. I'm in 4th gear again, somehow I am still spinning the tyres. Probably because these tyres are dead. Anyways, doesn't matter, because I'm now here for the penultimate pit stop of the day, and also decided not to over-rev the engine this time. I just decided to basically give myself the courtesy of myself just trying to relax and just basically go onto the pits without immediately sending it. I'm also pretty sure this car essentially has the Arrows livery. You know, the 1997 Arrows livery essentially is what I think this car has. Oh look, it is the green and yellow 001. Unsuccessfully try to overlap. Fuck off. Yeah. Well, too bad it was too little too late, dumbass. I already overlapped you right before we got to the corner. Because apparently I have that audacity. The audacity to basically just fucking send it into every corner I go to when I want to make a pass. It is very much uncreative and uninnovative of myself, subsequently speaking. Meanwhile, there is the Stealth 001 once again. Excuse me, who I am now coming close to. Overlapping once again, and just hit the back of, because that's how lackluster the competence of the AI. That's how lackluster the competence of the AI is around this circuit. I've said probably many times before. So, I just decide to waste no time. I just basically go into the corner and then just send it. But yeah, I think for the final 6 laps of this race I'm just gonna relax. I have no idea why I switched over to the bumper view there, but probably don't need to know. Although I might do that for the next lap just so I can try and see if it's possible for me to go even faster. Even though I am basically just leaning forward on my chair at the moment, because if I don't then I'll just fall back. Doesn't look like it's going to work, even though I am trying to see if it'll work. Oh, fuck me. I'm quite certain this will be more than 1,500 kilometers by the time I'm done with this. I guess I can go for one more quick lap and then maybe see if I can manage to accomplish anything. Because it doesn't look like I'm going to overlap the double A1s for a third time. But again, that's okay because I've basically overlapped them twice in this race anyway. Oh, fuck my ass. I just had to do it at the fucking hairpin. Why did I figure that was going to be inevitable? God, I really don't like driving Monaco. God, I really don't like driving Monaco speed. You know what? Maybe I'm not going to try and beat my best lap time anymore. I'm just going to coast the rest of the way, essentially. I'm just going to relax. Because I really don't see why there's any reason for me to just get pissed off about myself just not beating my best lap time. Really don't see any reason for that. Yeah, the sun is right in front of my eyes. But yeah, the main reason on why I've been trying to finish this game is simply because, well, my stuff will be moving over to the other side by the time I've got myself a bed that I can actually have on the ground again. Because let me tell you, sleeping up in the air is anything but pleasurable. Especially if you are sleeping on a bunk bed. Which essentially is what I am still currently doing. But I'm hopeful in saying that this will be where I will not have to do that anymore. Probably be back to sleeping on the ground by the time I've uploaded the remaining videos of this game. Also, that's all. Well, anyways, 8 laps to go. don't really see any point in pushing up to this point. Don't really see any point in pushing my car up to the end of this race. I'm basically guaranteed victory anyway. I'm basically guaranteed victory anyway because I am 2 laps ahead of because I'm basically 2 laps ahead of because I'm basically, you know, 2 laps ahead of the rest of the field up to this point. Although I must admit, of course, whatever philosophies the AI must have, they must clearly have a longer lasting velocity. They must, they must clearly have a longer lasting philosophy than myself. Because what my philosophy is telling me right now is I need to go 1 more lap on this set of tyres after this one, and then I can put in for tyres. And then I can put in for tyres. Alright, so I think after this we'll have just about 7 laps to go by the time I've completed the next lap, and ultimately I think by the time that next lap has been completed I'm just going to put in for 1 more time around. I still have about 7 laps to go once I've completed this lap. And it's not necessarily because I'm lacking notoriety, it's more or less because I'm basically trying my best to go as long as I can on a 1 set of builds. And as of which, up to this point, I'm pretty sure that my rear tyres are probably worn out up to this point. So this will be the lap of what will subsequently be my 8th and final pit stop of the day. And then for basically the final 6 laps, I can just run like hell. Even though I'm probably not going to, because, well, all I really need to do up to this point is just coast my way home. I think that's, you know, all I really need to do. This is it. This is the final lap of my stint. This is the final lap of where I will officially be in audacious mode to get up to victory. Just gonna do what I feel I want to do for basically these final 6 laps, and that is just coast my way. Although since I'm on much fresher tyres now, although since I am on much fresher set of tyres now. Suspect me to probably try and see if I can go for one more quick lap. As you would have probably anticipated, I think that is what I may do. And that is exactly what I'm going to attempt. To maybe see if I can basically go for broke. And that's all. Doesn't look like this is going to be a new personal best. Although, up to this point, of course, I have never driven 1,500 kilometers. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not far away from reaching about probably 1,000 miles. I think I went too fast through there. Okay, I get it. Going to attempt to do that anymore. I simply give up. I am not prepared to go for another purple one. So, I think for probably the final 3 laps I'm just going to coast home. Up to this point, I mean, I gave it a crack, it didn't work, so I'm just gonna do what I should be doing, which is just coasting home. Since I don't really have too many reasons on why exactly I should go flat out. Because I don't think I need to. I think all that really matters is just trying to get to the end of the race. Furthermore, yes, you were not mistaken when you saw me driving with bumper view. Even though that will probably only the 3rd and final time that you will actually see that. Because I prefer to stick to exterior view. Exterior view is the best driving view, as I have learned, to put it simply. So here we are, 2 laps to go, and can I make it on this set of tyres? I probably will. would be nice if I could end this race on high, but realistically, I don't consider that to be what's going to happen. Also, I've now driven over 1,500 kilometers in this championship. Overall. And I probably will have to boot up my computer to see how many miles overall I've driven in this race by the time I get to the end of it. Anyways, final lap, and I set a high 114 on that lap, so oddly enough that actually wasn't too bad. But anyways, here we go. Final lap of the Formula GT Championship, as well as the Monaco Grand Prix. And then that essentially means I will have just one race left. I have no idea what I just heard there, but it almost sounded like I heard a tyre pump or something. That's probably what it is. But officially, I have of course confirmed this will be the final lap, so through the Nouvelle chicane once again, and now heading down into the swimming pool section now for the final time. I am not going to attempt to best my lap time, because of which I've not got enough time to do that, and ultimately this shall be the final lap, which I have officially done, and it is victory at Monaco, and I did that in just under 1 hour and 46 minutes. Now we wait. Alright, everyone has finished, and so in the end of that, I put the V10 displacement 2 laps down, and I put pretty much the entire turbo class 5 laps down. So effectively overall, the leaders in that race technically overlapped the entire field 3 times, whereas I overlapped them 5 times. So those are your final point standings. So in the end of that, I won by 38 points over the Stealth 001. Then in third position with 46 points, it was the Green and Yellow 001. Then in fourth position with 23 points, virtually half of the... oh, fuck me. They just went away. Anyways. And all I can really say is, well, the Red 002 beat the Silver 002. As of which the fourth placed car in that race was precisely... half the points of what exactly the the third placed car had scored. So, there we go. The V10 class has once again dominated over the Turbo class. And now it is money time. And we get the champagne trophy. Nice. And now let's see what car we win. Considering I'm probably going to get quite a few of these, but let's see what car we win. Yeah, okay, I guess I can accept this. I mean, I more or less knew I was going to win one of the turbo stonks anyway. And so, for completing the professional league, we get... oh. We get one in blue. There's a surprise. And... oh, okay. Well, anyways. So in the end of that, I won 9 out of 10 races. Test course is the only race I have to sweep up, and officially what we get overall is, as I'm just servicing the car, just going to wash it, and I'm also going to change the oil, is that overall I get one F1 car for completing, and my win ratio has not changed. Okay, anyways, we are 99% complete, and I'm hopeful in saying that it lies in one race. So we get one FGT car for completing the championship, and we also get another one for completing the professional league. And so, let's see how many miles I drove in this thing. 1,512 kilometers, which is equivalent to a total of 939.5 miles. Nearly 1,000 miles driven in this thing is how many I drove overall. So let's have a look at our two new prize cars. And well, because I'm not an arsehole, this time I'm gonna keep both of them, because I see a purpose for keeping these two. So we get this one for winning the championship, even though I would have liked to get another 001, but whatever. And for completing the professional league, we get a blue 002, which oddly enough actually isn't much different to the red one. But anyways, we aren't done with this game just yet, because I still need to win at test course. I also need to show off machine test, and then once I've done that I will show off professional mode, the professional difficulty of arcade mode. So, this game is not done yet, but we're very close to completing it. Stay tuned for more GT3. I shall see you in the next one.